G'day punters, I'm just jumping on here. I'm going to try to do a weekend review each week. Video style, post it on my Twitter, just a bit of information for punters out there. I know reading a weekend review on paper, big lot of text and words, it can sort of be a bit boring and like a chore. So I'll try and make it short, sweet, get straight to the point on here. I'm just going to identify a couple of topics I want to touch on, 3 or 4 topics key from the weekend. I'll run through the advantages, disadvantages, how the races will run, merit, forgive, and horses to follow, as well as star performer. I'll try aim between that 5 and 8 minute mark. Try not make them too boring and get a bit of info out of that. To start with, I'll just run through the general review of Rosehill last Saturday, the 5th of the 6th. We had the rail out 6 metres, generally on pace, and that was the case Saturday. The advantage on pace, lanes 1 to 5 in the straight. Disadvantage back wide in the straight. Races, 5 out of the 9 races were the winners come from on pace. 5 out of the 9 winners were rails in run, and 9 out of the 9 winners come from lanes 1 to 6 in the straight. So that pretty much paints a picture. You wanted to be in that first half of the field. You didn't necessarily have to be rails in run, but it obviously was a nice advantage if you were, because you hit those key lanes of 1 to 5 in the straight. We saw many horses try to close off on the outside lanes, 6 plus, and it was very hard to make solid ground. Merit and forgive. Wicklow had plenty of merit, sat off a slow speed, went bang, recorded some nice last 600 figures. Not sure going forward if he will be a betting prospect. I think he's well found now in the market. And a lot of people obviously caught that run. Tycoonist, Forgive, Dynamic Impact, Forgive, they come from the same race. They were both big Forgives. Berterbeck, nowhere to go. Another Forgive, he'll be ready to win next start. Warrior Falls, just that check off heels the entire straight, never got clear air. And Rosehill on the first was backed off the map and was caught back wide and just not in the key areas we needed to be on Saturday. Star performer, I'll run through the replay here of Wicklow. It was a very nice win. Sat off, like I said, that slow tempo. They went some 6.7 lengths slower against the average to the 600 metres, and he was able to fire home last 600 34.28, last 400 22.84, and last 200 11.64. His last 600 was some 2.7 lengths superior to his rivals in the race. Like I said, very nice win. As a betting prospect going forward, he's probably very well found and will be hard in the market next time out. So I'm not sure if he's a betting prospect, but it was definitely the star performer for mine on the weekend. Absolute peach by Tommy. And we saw in those staying races, the races not from the shoot starts, you could probably make a touch more ground from further back in the field. You still wanted to be lanes 1 to 5, but you could make a little bit more ground from back in the field. He was a star performer for mine. I'll race through I've got 4 topics I want to touch on, and a couple of videos to go with them, just to get my point across. Topic 1 was a strange betting race in the first. We saw Cape Breton was a $2.10 favourite, courtesy tab prices at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. He BSP'd $3.87. Was strange. His yard report was that he was in immaculate condition. The stable were confident and bullish throughout. We saw the big go was Rosehill, the yellow colours on the outside, back wide, total forgive. Look at the lane he's in there. He's in 6 plus. And just peaks on his run late. Cape Breton goes to the JJ Atkins now. He'll need to go to another level to win that race, but I love the way he fought back when the horse challenged him on the line. Tommy said he got a bit lost once he hit the front. So maybe he could be a smoky for the JJ Atkins, but it was a strange betting race, and if you're on the end of Cape Breton, like myself, you're very, very happy to take the big odds. Topic 2. Just want to chat about the forgive runs of Tycoonist and Dynamic Impact. You can see the red silks right at the back closing off the rail. That's Tycoonist. And then we see the majority yellow chest with the red sleeves to his right. Dynamic Impact both had nowhere to go. Arguably, Tycoonist should have won the race. Oscar Zulu does in fact win, but Tycoonist doesn't get any clear running. Finally gets out the last 50 metres and flies to the line to just miss. Tycoonist is definitely a horse we can follow forward and maybe a betting prospect. He's very versatile. If he draws a positive map, positive barrier, he can go forward and put himself in the race and take luck out of the equation. I think that's his best chance of winning. Dynamic impact as well. Sneaky run out the back. He could be a betting prospect moving forward too. Topic 3 I wanted to chat about was the run of Rammstein. I think if you back this horse on Saturday, you're probably a touch disappointed. He had the perfect map, perfect run in transit, and suited the advantage, the bias on the day. Rails in run on pace over those sprinting distances. It was probably a touch on the wetter side for him. He likes a dry track, but going through the figures, he's gone absolutely enormous here. He led a ridiculously fast pace. They went some minus 8.5 lengths against the average. The average for that type of class is minus 1.9 lengths. So he's got some sub 6.6 lengths against the average. So he's low flying out in front here. And to hold on for 4th, I thought it was an absolutely enormous run. I think he will be a definite betting prospect moving forward. I think plenty of punters may jump off him for all the reasons I've mentioned before, that he had the perfect run. So you might see a lot of punters sack him, but I think he's gone enormous. If he can find the front on a dry track, good for, where he can get all control, I think this horse is absolutely flying. As we can see, he battles on. Shadowcross comes off his back and gets the A-grade run, the perfect run. Goes bang. Smart Image closes off the inside. You can just see how much superior that ground up the inside is, with all the horses shooting back there and making solid ground compared to the horses that are wide, grinding away. So I thought the run of Rammstein here was enormous, and he can definitely win next start. The last topic I wanted to mention, it was a very nice way to end the day. The market told us prior to the race that this horse was going to go forward, and I thought it was a beautiful ride by the apprentice Rhys Jones, who's on a massive upward spiral. Got his first win for Godolphin last week, and now salutes with a very nice ride. Uses barrier 13 out wide, uses his claim, and you just got to watch him early here. Nice and positive. He's got one idea, and that's to go to the front. But I think what's underrated is what he does in the middle section of the race here. If you look at the race now, you probably think he's going out hard. He's going to have to just hold on late. But he gets a very nice race slowdown, or midway slowdown here. Looking at the figures, he's only gone minus 2.5 lengths compared to the average, which is minus 1.9 lengths. So he's gone pretty much on par with the average for this class. And that's evident in his last 200, with Majestic Shot recording the fastest last 200 of the race, 11:28. A horse who's able to do that, or a ride that's able to do that, lead out in front and then record the fastest last 200, that horse will be winning every day of the week. So it was a beautiful ride by Rhys Jones, and the ride of the day for mine clearly. And backers would have been rejoicing. He was heavily back, $5 in the morning into $2.90. Just before the kick, I'm not too sure what he got out to, had BSB, but you can see here, powers to the line, Majestic Shot. It was a very, very nice ride. That rounds out the topics I wanted to cover and the key points from the meeting. They were the four key points I wanted to mention. Horses to follow the meeting. So Merit and Forgive, they're not necessarily going to be the betting prospects. They're just horses I thought were Forgives and Merit runs. The Merit runs, you're probably going to be well found in the market. Horses I would like to follow, Rammstein. Like I said, I think this horse might be forgotten next time out by punters. Tycoonist has that positive map if he wants and draws a barrier. So I think that's always a betting prospect. I don't think he's going to come upwards off that run. There was plenty of Forgives that day. So I think we might get a price about him. And one from the midweeks, Verne, goes around Saturday in the 2-year-old race. It was a very dominant win on Wednesday at Warwick Farm. Sat 3 wide the trip on pace. He looks a beast of a horse, and I think he'll go to a new level at 3. He's tipping out for a spell after the run on Saturday, but if you can get a chance, get down the race and have a look for him in the yard. He's a beautiful type, and I think he'll come back a very nice 3-year-old. Thanks for tuning in. I'll try to punch these out each week. All the sectionals and ratings data is brought to you by Punting Form, and hopefully you get a bit out of this. Any feedback or any questions, please punch them in the comments, and I'll see you all next week. Cheers.